You know, as the saying goes, a daredevil in hand is not worth two dupes in a bush. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle Haas. And in this video, we've been duped. The entire comic collecting market has been duped. And not tricked in that definition sense. I'm talking about Doop the character, which apparently I had been sleeping on. I was unaware of this character and the spec potential of this Slimer-like alien. I mean, all these other comic book collectors are all big Doop fans all of a sudden, or had been Doop day ones, but I'm going to admit it. I didn't know who this character was. Earlier this week, I did this video talking about the Avengers Secret Wars leaks, and I showed this image right here, and I made mention of the alien character that I was like, oh, I don't know who this is. Shout out to the people in the comments right here, Vancouver Comic Junkie. The Slimer-esque alien with the X on his stomach is Doop from X-Force 116. Doop, it's Doop. Got to give you guys a little bit of a heart right there, but Doop has slowly but surely, with each passing day, kind of gone up and up and up and up and up to the point where now it might be the hottest spec book in the market, which is funny because earlier in the week, the hottest spec book in the market was Secret Wars #2. But now everybody is moving on to Doop. Moving on to this book right here, X-Force #116. First team appearance of X-Static, Coach, Anarchist, Battering Ram, Jin Genie, Lanuit, Plasm, Sluck, Zeitgeist, and the most important character of them all, Doop. Also, there's You Go Girl. And as you guys can see from the activity on the eBay secondary market, I mean, holy Doop. Everybody is a Doop fan all of a sudden. You know, it's this is kind of funny. Let's really call it what it is right here. I feel like the fact that his name is Doop is just something like memeable. Like everybody's like, yeah, I'm in on the Doop thing. You know, it's kind of fun to be in on Doop. And if I'm really breaking it down, I mean, it makes sense why Marvel would want to bring this character to the MCU. I mean, I think at this point, guys, it's pretty obvious that if you're a Jeff the Land Shark, okay, you're a baby Groot, you're a Grogu, or you're some cutesy, lovable little animal thing that could be totally made into a plushie, Disney Marvel is going to try to put you in the limelight. So I guess that's kind of a green light to any character out there that is a cutesy sort of sidekick character. I mean, that's as good a spec as any. And maybe that's why there's been so many people that actually had 9/8 of this book ready to go. I mean, I'm always amazed. Like, who are the people out there that like go out into the dollar bins and they're like, oh yeah, first appearance of Doop. And they like send these in for grading. And they're probably sitting on like 30 copies, you know, with CGC 9/8 of X-Force 116. And then that moment happens. You know, you get that Doop leak and you're like, oh man, here we go. This is my moment to shine. Well, congratulations to that person. It was definitely their moment to shine. As you guys can see, $300 for a 9/8 newsstand sale. $135 for another 9/8 right here. Now, it's funny because this actually isn't the record prices for this book. I mean, again, I've been sleeping on Doop. Even back in 2021 and 2022, there were people out there that were paying, you know, $220, $250, $232, $230 for this book. So we're not seeing kind of the record high prices for this thing. But either way, I mean, we are seeing quite an increase in the volume of sales. As you guys can see, look at this, from March 6th to March 1st. Every single sale this year has been in the last week. And look at how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sales. I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? I mean, considering that nobody was buying this thing. I mean, look at this book selling on a low last year for $67. Just a year ago, $67. Nobody wanted this thing. It was back to the dollar bin book. And, well, frankly, it probably is going to be back to a dollar bin book soon. But, of course, it's not just the graded books that are selling. It's the raw books, too. I mean, look at this. $20 here for a raw copy. $30 here for one that's advertised as no code variant. I don't know what the deal with that is, but maybe you guys can elaborate if there's a special no code variant that is more rare than your typical Doop comic book. You have $36 sale right there, $34 right there, $25 right there. And you guys can see even over the course of the last few days, it's been trending up. You know, it's been a little while since we've had kind of a book like this gain sort of that kind of traction where it was like, you know, $12 last month, $14, you know, earlier in February. And then, you know, jumping up to $14 right there. You know, somebody was really quick on the draw to buy this $15 version of this clean copy. Maybe that one's going to head its way to CGC. Someone right there jumping on the 9/8 on March 1st, immediately coming off of the leak. $18 there. And then you flash forward just a few days and the Doop mania is in full effect, going up to $36, like I said, for the Raw and $150 for the 9.8. And I kind of feel like the dupe train is just starting. Now, the only problem with this is that we have to wait until, assuming this is a real thing, we have to wait until this movie actually comes out, right? And we have to see if this thing can actually sustain, which, as we know, guys, I mean, the movie can't sustain it, which is, funny enough, kind of what I was getting at with the Marvel Rivals thing with Jeff the Landshark. I mean, with the video game thing, it's constantly going. There are constantly people memeing and sharing, social media video posts of Jeff the Landshark. So it constantly keeps his name relevant to pop culture. Whereas right now, Dupe is only having his 15 minutes of fame, and it's going to be hard to sustain that, considering the movie that presumably he's in isn't going to be out for another year or so. Unlike what's currently going on with Daredevil, where Daredevil Born Again books are, moving out there in the market a little bit. We have Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man #9, first appearance of the White Tiger. We have Daredevil #7, first red suit appearance. We have Daredevil 131, first appearance of Bullseye. We got Daredevil 126, first appearance of one of Daredevil's friends. We got Daredevil 11, first appearance of Muse. Apparently that character is going to show up eventually. We have this right here, first battle of Punisher and Daredevil, which we know that, Punisher is going to be in the show. And then we have this book right here, which is Daredevil 170, the first appearance of the Kingpin in the Daredevil title, which, as we know, at least from the trailers and stuff, that Kingpin is going to play a big role in the show. And what's interesting about this whole thing is that even with all of the so far positive reviews about the show, overall, I think the sentiment around it is pretty hopeful, pretty upbeat, generally speaking. Doesn't necessarily translate to, the comic sales like it once did. I mean, you do see here for this Daredevil 170, yeah, there are a handful of sales since the release of the show. No doubt. There are more people that are kind of interested in this thing. And I would say in general, maybe it's trended up a little bit, and we did actually get this 9.8 sale right here, which was $474. Not bad. Not a bad sale in terms of, price for that, considering the recent comps for this are $380, $366, $45, $499, $348. So on the higher end of the spectrum for what it typically sells for. And I mean, I guess that's a testament to the show. Similarly, we've had a lot of Daredevil 131s sell. I mean, again, this is a book that's always in demand. It's always going to sell a little bit. I mean, we're not at dupe levels here, but we do see, some volume and some, call it liquidity in the book, people more interested in it. But that being said, this is not a book that is selling nowhere near its record prices. As you guys can see, 9.6 recent sale in March is $720 compared to the 90-day, which is $837. And of course, we know what the record prices were for 9.6s at the time in 2022 when they were selling for the $2,000 price point. There hasn't been a 9.8 sale. So very interesting stuff. And, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, I feel like anytime you get a surprise book now in the comic book market, a book like Dupe, these are the ones that people are going to, kind of FOMO in or jump on or spend money on versus like when you actually have the show going on for Daredevil now. I mean, it just doesn't have the same effect. It's even if people enjoy the show, even if people are liking it, people are more interested in the newer, odder things like a X-Force 116. So it's the surprise books that now get you. And it's kind of interesting, you think about it and you wonder who the profile, again, is of the people that are buying these books. I mean, maybe it is seasoned collectors that are getting this thing, because maybe the people that are enjoying and consuming the content for, the MCU and all that, maybe they already have, Daredevil 170. They already have Daredevil 131. They already have all these books related to that show because whether or not they've been collecting for a long time to where they already had in their collection or they've already hit one of those speculation booms that happened, coming off the trailer or coming off one of the rumors or coming off one of the leaked images, they've already FOMO'd into that book. They've already picked it up. Versus this book, nobody had really talked about it. At least in my wheelhouse, guys. I'm sorry if you're the one person out there who's been the big Dupe fan that's been sitting on 50 copies of, X-Force 116 and 9.8s. I mean, you called it. Kudos to you. But for me and the other people hopping on this book right now, we've been sleeping on him, okay? We had been sleeping on him. Anyways, that's all for this video. That was me just doing a quick little marker report of Dupe, the lovable Slimer alien character. Now the hottest, most lovable character coming to the MCU, apparently, because of this image right here. Anyways, that's all for this video. That was me covering the Dupe report. Let me know what you guys think about this character. I mean, I can definitely see, why Marvel would want to popularize this thing. It feels like a character that you could sell to kids, create a bunch of merchandise, create a bunch of toys, and kind of move it out there. But at the same time, too, I mean, even if this is a real image, even if this is a real scene in the Secret Wars movie, I mean, how long could Doop's scene possibly be? I mean, there were a lot of weird, cutesy characters in Ant-Man Quantumania. Do we have plushies for those guys? No, of course not. But Swag, you don't understand. This is Doop we're talking about. Okay, all right, fair enough. Good point. This is Doop. And it's true. I don't understand. Anyways, that's all for this one. Let me know what you guys think about Doop. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all in the next video.